Hey everyone, and welcome to the Beyond Life and Fitness podcast. I'm Cheryl Patton.
And I'm Meaghan Prince.
We started this podcast as a way to connect with more people who are struggling to fit it all in. The workouts, the food, kids, work, and relationships.
We know that we're not perfect, but we hope that through our struggles and our mistakes and our failures and our successes that we can help more people through their challenges and be successful. So if you want some tips and tricks to help you along your journey to be the best version of yourself, then this is it.
All right, we are finally back, and today we're going to talk about, does a fitness coach have to be a high-level athlete in order to coach others? Sort of the concept of, do as I, what is it? What is that concept? I want to say don't do as I say, but do as I do, but kind of walking the walk, right? So if you were to go into a gym and hire a trainer, or if you were to hire somebody like a fitness coach online, do you take a look at how they look on the outside as a way of measuring if they are qualified in order to coach you for whatever fitness goals you have? So that was sort of, something that I had kind of come up with and thought we could sort of discuss. And I'd also looked up the definition of what a fitness coach is, and it's basically, a fitness coach is somebody that will mentor clients to learn how to lead healthier lives and helps them in reaching their individual goals for physical fitness. And then I looked up the definition of physical fitness, and it's defined as the body's ability to function efficiently and effectively in work and leisure activities at various ages and stages in one's life. So the state of well-being kind of achieved through a combination of physical activity and nutrition. So if you were to hire a coach, would you sort of base it off how they look on the outside? What do you think?
I think so many factors come into play. Like so many. Like there's almost like so many I could list. So depending on what you're training for, I think that it somewhat matters a little bit. But also I think more what matters is how that person helps their clients. So when you're looking at, like, does a fitness trainer have to have six-pack abs and, be like in awesome shape? I totally don't think so, because I think that knowledge doesn't have to come with, like, this is what, like, when we go to a doctor, half the doctors what we go to see, they're not fit, they're not healthy, no. They're not any of those things, right? But the knowledge that they carry for us is like crucial, right? So I think for me it depends on what certifications they have, what their sort of mission statement is in helping clients, and before and after pictures for clients. Testimonials are huge from real people that actually worked with them. I think when it comes down to something like a fitness competition like you're prepping for, I think that it really makes a difference if that person has actually done that.
Yes, gone through the process.
Yeah, because if you've never gone through the process, like I remember going when I was pregnant and we had a midwife and she had never had a baby. So when we're in labor and she's talking me through things and all this stuff, she was great and she could do all of the like breathe and do this and squeeze my hips and all that kind of stuff. But when it came down to like all the mental stuff, it was very hard to like connect with somebody that had never had a baby, and I'm here having a baby. Like, she's never felt this. She's never done this. So has this coach actually like gone through the process? Has this coach been a high level soccer athlete that's had to like train 3 hours a day to get to that level? Because I don't necessarily know if it means at that time they have to look like that, because we've been through all these stages in our lives where we've learned so many things that I could coach somebody through a competition right now, but I'm not competition ready, but I know exactly what it takes. I know exactly like how it feels. I know how to walk them through how it feels when you get to certain stages of things.
Yeah.
But I think it comes down to like, has that coach actually achieved what you want to achieve? Have they actually gone through the process to get where you want to get to? Yeah. And I think like you and me were talking about when you were choosing coaches for this show is like, shop around, like talk to that person, see if like you connect with that person, if you feel like you have things in common with that person, if you can respect that person, the way that they talk to you and the way that they treat you. I mean, when I was doing a fitness show, I had this fantastic trainer from the States. He was so great. I looked the best I ever looked, but he was so not a nice person. Like when you'd ask a question, you'd get this passive aggressive email back. Like, I already think I answered that in your program or something like that. So at that time, I'm like, well, this is awesome. I look great and, you know, whatever. But I want to, especially with a coach and somebody that's telling you what to eat, telling you how to live your lifestyle, telling you when you have to exercise and when you don't. If you don't have a relationship with that person that they can understand, that they can match that with you, then you'll always like not be wanting to like follow that program, because you're like, I don't even respect you as a person, so how can I follow that program that you're prescribing me, right?
Totally. I think there has to be definitely a connection between you and whatever coach you use. And I think it even comes to not only just like, you know, whether it's a like body transformation or whether it's just changing your habits so that you're eating more whole foods and not eating out as much, or whatever the case may be, or rehabbing from an injury, right? You may find a coach that has gone through knee surgeries, shoulder surgeries, hip replacement, shoulder replacement, like, and then they can relate to you on a different level because they've gone through the surgeries, they've gone through the rehab, they've gone through the whole process, and they can relate to you better. But again, not that somebody who hasn't gone through that still can't take you through the process if you relate with them. So, and again, most physiotherapists fall into that. Like most of them haven't had replacements. Some of them may not be in shape, but they may be able to give you valuable information that's going to get the ball rolling or help you rehab that shoulder, knee, back, whatever the case might be. So yeah, I totally agree. I think as fitness coaches, you still need to lead like an active lifestyle. Like you can't just be, you know, an obese person that sits on the couch and goes out and eats, you know, fast food all the time and not live the lifestyle that you're trying to get other people to live. I think then there is definitely a huge disconnect. But I think if you are active and you eat well and you have a solid knowledge on how the body moves, the physiology, you know, your basic nutrition, again, depending on what you coach for, your nutrition might get a little bit more specific. Yeah, I don't think fitness coaches have to be like six pack ab elite athletes that appear to be superhuman.
Yeah, because I've heard from people, you know, like, I don't know if I want to train with you because of the way you look. I don't want to look like that. Like, people don't want to have a six pack. I don't want to be super muscular like you. I don't want to look like that, right? So you have to be able to come from like a different that everybody doesn't want to look a certain way. Everybody doesn't want to be skinny, right? Or everybody doesn't want to be a certain thing. So yeah, I think coaches that have a healthy balance in things can still coach people to lean out and coach people to do different things, I think.
Yeah, I think as long as coaches have a commitment to basically practicing what they preach, regardless of what level or what degree that might be in. So basically, you know, as long as you're leading by example to some extent, then I think that is definitely the biggest point. So again, if those fitness coaches are committing to themselves, you know, to put certain behaviors into practice and always staying curious and always wanting to learn new things on how to be better, and then I think that person's probably gonna be a great coach for whomever their niche market is. Yeah.
I think it all comes down to passion too. Like, what are you passionate about? Are you passionate about helping people rehab as a physio? Are you passionate about teaching people how to eat properly? Are you passionate about teaching people how to do certain exercises in the gym? Like, if you're passionate about something, and you can help anybody achieve anything if that's what your thing is, right?
Yeah.
If it's like a coach that is helping people lose weight that's not passionate about all of that stuff, then you're gonna feel that disconnect from that person.
You're gonna have those short, abrupt email answers like you did. Right? They're just there.
I'm like, dude, I want my pro card with you. Like, for me, that's like a coach shows up, a coach sends you something in the mail, a coach, do you know what I mean?
Goes the extra mile.
Goes the extra mile for you.
Yeah, 100%. And again, it's just finding the person that you connect the best with, and with that chemistry between you and your coach, then you can make whatever fitness goals you have happen or want happen. Right? Because you've got somebody who's got your back, somebody who's going to answer your questions, somebody who's going to answer your text, somebody who's going to talk you down off the ledge when you're having a bad day, or things are going sideways, or you haven't seen changes in 2 weeks, or whatever the case might be. Right? It's not like things have just gone up in flames and you can just say screw it and go back to day one. It's right? Progress is a zigzag, circle, snake type pathway. It's not a straight line ever.
Right. And I think when it comes down to people getting a coach, that's what it comes down to, right? Is that you need that support, you need that accountability, you need that person kind of on your side when you're going through stuff, to be able to sit there and support you and say and let you know, this is normal to feel like this. This is your progress isn't linear all the time, and that kind of stuff. That they're there for the person. How do they show up for the person? How do they answer questions for the person? And I think I did fitness and health at Fanshawe. I've done some extra courses on the side, nutrition stuff, sports nutrition and stuff. But I think it all comes down to really experiencing it and being in it, and that's being your lifestyle all the time. That's just how it is. I don't know how to wake up in the morning and not know what I'm going to eat that day.
Right.
I don't know how people wake up and they're like, oh, I'm going to have a peanut butter and jam sandwich today, or oh, I'm going to have eggs and toast. And I'm just I don't even know how you do that. I can't even, because that's just so ingrained in me to know
the structure.
And I said to the girl that I was talking to at the gym today that's not seeing results in her workouts, and I'm like, but I spend 5 or 6 hours a week in the gym. That's a lot of time away from my family, a lot of time away from my kids, and a lot of time working on myself, that I want to spend time really making progress with my nutrition so that I can see the results from the all that work that I'm putting into it, right? Because if not, you're just putting all this work in and you never see any results. And it's why am I doing this then, right?
Totally.
So coaches will, the right coach will help you on that right path, right, for you. So when those coaches, when it's your niche, your postpartum moms or fitness competitions or healing your gut health or all that kind of stuff, you have to find that coach that does what you want to fix or what you want to do better, right? Not let somebody who's just oh, that girl lost so much weight and she has a six-pack and she looks so good, so let's just work with her. But then you have no clue what their process is. Are you going to be working out 7 days a week, 2 hours a day, and you can't do that? That's not really feasible. So what's feasible for your life?
And that's where that whole interview process of interviewing coaches and learning, if it is somebody that you've never met, never knew, it's somebody that wasn't referred to you, learning how they work with clients, what their process is that they would use on you to get you from point A to point B, so that it's very clear. And then that way, when you do hire them and you start working for them, then you know what you're in for. But at the same time, make sure whatever that coach is taking you through is going to be sustainable in the long run. Like, it's not something so drastic that it's going to get you there. And then within a couple of weeks, you just go right back to where you were, square one, because you're hungry, you're tired, and you've just, you're just I can't do this. And so then you're just eating you just eat yourself out of house and home. You stop moving. And call it a day.
But that's what people are looking for, right? Is that quick fix.
Yeah.
Those coaches that I've had people like not want to work with me because it's not fast enough, or it's not, I have to actually do that. Like, I actually have to, like, there's not a shake you're just going to give me that, like, and a pill that'll just make me, like, lose all the weight. I'm like, no, like, there's actually, like, it takes time. So people do want that, like, quick fix. The good coaches are like, oh, I can get you to lose all this weight. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just feeling so crappy. And and I have a friend who's been fasting since Monday, and she just ate yesterday night or something. But I'm like, I just don't know where all of these, like, concepts come from, because I don't know, I wouldn't be okay with prescribing or doing that even for myself, right? So just really look into, are these things that I actually want to do? Are these things that I actually, like, would be able to bring into my life, you know? Like, when I had kids, when I had little babies, I found coaches like, am I doing fasted cardio in the morning for these shows? Because if I am, it's not possible. I can't wake up. I'm breastfeeding. I have babies in the morning. Nobody's here. So, like, Isabel, quiet. Okay, fancy pants. And it's just like, finding what's going to fit into your lifestyle, because everybody is different. Everybody needs something different. It's not like it's a cookie cutter, here we go, do the same thing as everybody else is doing. So finding that coach is actually going to, like, dig deep and find out all the things that actually, like, trigger or help you or whatever through that process. It's way more than just, like, here's a program.
It is. It's a lot more than the physical. There's a lot of mental training that has to take place, because it can be challenging to adapt new habits, and it takes time to adapt. It took time for you to turn good habits into bad ones. It takes time to turn bad ones back into good ones, so that those new good habits just become second nature, just like the bad ones do. So, it takes time, and it's not just 21 days. It can be 21 days if it's something very simple. Maybe going from 1 liter of water to 1.5 liters or 2 liters, or maybe going from 2 coffees down to 1, or whatever the case might be, right? But, the habit of maybe getting up half an hour or an hour earlier every morning, so that you can either go for a walk or get to the gym before your work day, home life day starts, that can take some more time, because there's more of an adjustment that has to be made by you. You're going to be going to bed earlier, which means, that it may affect the whole family rhythm at night, and when dinner time is, and when all that fun stuff. But
and I think also looking into, like, a time commitment, right? Because
totally,
coaches that are like, I'll just coach you for a month, I don't know. I think that you have to commit to it. I think that you have to commit to a certain period of time that you're like, I am going to give this my all. Because a month with a coach is like nothing. You need so much time to be able to, like, figure out and work together and figure out what's working, what's not. Don't text in, like, a week and say I'm not losing weight, but it's going to take time. It's going to take effort. We're both going to be in this together. I'm here with you. But you're going to have to, like, work with me and realize that, like, this is a whole process, right? So I don't think necessarily a coach has to look a certain way, but I definitely think, are they living a lifestyle that you want to live? Like, are they active? Are they eating healthy? Are they eating healthy meals? Because maybe that person, I don't know, is struggling with some hormonal, medical, who knows what issues that they're struggling with, that they're not able to maybe lose some weight or have a six-pack or whatever, but they still live that healthy lifestyle.
Exactly.
They still live that, like, they're still encapsulating everything that you want to do in your life.
Yeah. They're walking the talk, right? Like, so whatever they're preaching at you, they are living it themselves. Yes.
Yeah. So I think that is important, because I think when you go to a doctor or something, if you were to go to a doctor and the doctor was like, I don't know, super sick or like something, you'd be like, I am definitely not going to that doctor, right? Like, because that doctor clearly like is not like following his protocol or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think definitely, I think it definitely like makes a difference, but I don't think somebody has to be super ripped or super whatever to coach somebody at a high level. I think sometimes.
I think at any level, right?
At
like
any
I
level.
I think if you're like even when it comes to elite athletes, which again is a whole other niche, and there's like that's not my niche. I don't think it's your niche, but you know, I don't think you necessarily have had to play high level athletics in order to coach at a high level athlete. As long as you understand the game that they play and the mechanics that are involved in that game in order to make that player better, I think that is the main point.
I think some of the coaches I've seen, like the smartest coaches I've seen on YouTube and Instagram sometimes or whatever, they do not look 100% like the part.
No.
But they're super knowledgeable because they've gone to school for like university PhD nutrition.
But then they've taken that knowledge and they've been able to apply it to actual human beings.
Yes.
And put it into practice and see how that knowledge actually applies and what needs to be tweaked when it comes to certain individuals. You know, and those individuals can get super picky, like in terms of like your whole bone structure, like the length of your legs, the length of your arms, all that fun stuff, which again with me just dealing with general population is not nearly as important. So
but I think those I would love to like maybe be coached one day by like one of those like really geeky science guys who like went to school for nutrition, like super knowledgeable into all these little nitty gritty, let's try this, because you're their science experiment. You get to watch these things, right? And when I was competing and training, watching my body change and dropping a carb here, adding this here, whatever, was really cool to watch that, right?
Yes.
But it was like super cool to see what your body can do.
Yeah.
So I think, sometime being like coached by a nerdy science guy who really knows his stuff and isn't into all of the industry standards of we have to do this and this and this and this, then it would be super cool. So I think so too. In general, I don't think you have to look the part. I just think that you have to have the knowledge and passion behind whatever you're teaching.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that is a perfect place to end. Thanks everybody for listening today, and we truly appreciate you. And let us know what your biggest takeaway was today, and if you have any questions you want answered on the podcast. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast to automatically receive your episodes and to help us reach more listeners. We would love to connect with you on our socials, either Facebook or Instagram, with links in the show notes. Till next time, keep taking those small steps towards your best life.